Hello, I'm Beverly from Beverly's Creative Cakes, and I run a sugar craft school from my shop, and I'd just like to show you some of what a beginner would do on their first course. Here we have an example of something made by a beginner, and this takes about 4 weeks. What I'd like to do now is to show you an example of something you would be making on your first course. I'm going to show you how to make a daffodil, and first of all we need some paste, which is icing, and we're going to make it into a yellow colour ready for the daffodils. So first of all we spread the icing, and then we're going to add some yellow dust. So first of all we mix the paste till it's a yellow, ready to do our daffodils. And you're mixing it in, pulling it out, and you'll notice it goes nice and yellow. So there we have our yellow paste. And we put that to one side. We now need some wires, and we use a 26 gauge wire. These are florist wires, and we then have to tape them with some tape because this holds the icing to the wire. Now we're going to tape the wire, pulling the tape taut so it releases the glue and so sticks it to the wire. And then we cut them into 4. Like so. We're working on 3 stamens. 2 you want the same length and 1 longer. So there we have them, and we cut the spare one off. Like so. And we keep that one for the next one. The wire you put up to the stamens, and they're inside the trumpet, so you don't want them too long that they poke out the front. So bring your wire up to it, and then we tape the wire in. So securing it first, and then just going down your wire, same as you did when you taped it to start with. And we're going right to the bottom of the wire, and that's our stamens ready. So 2 pieces to the skirt because it has 6 petals, and we're going to cut those out first. Soften your paste up and roll out nice and thin. We don't want them too thick because they're much nicer when they're thinner. Daffodils flow in the breeze, so they need to be quite thin. And then we cut out our skirt. So there is the skirt cutter, and we want 1 flat one and 1 with a Mexican hat, which I'll show you in a minute. Right, so we've cut out the first piece of our skirt, and I'm now going to vein it, and we're just going from the middle to each edge, thinning it out. And this is our flat one, and we'll just keep that to one side, and then we roll out the Mexican hat one. So we take the Mexican hat, which has holes in, and we use the medium hole, which is this one, and we take a ball of icing, soften it up, and then we sit it on top of the pad over the hole, and then roll, and then you get, that is your Mexican hat there. And then with the veining tool we need to thin that out from the middle out, bringing it right out nice and thin so we get a nice finish. That's it. So this one goes on there, and we cut out our next little petals. Take off the excess, bring it round. Keep your paste to one side in a pot because we don't want it to dry out. And we take that one off. And then we put this back in the Mexican hat in the same hole, and we can then vein this one. So again, from side to side, catching the edges. And from this side. And one more. Nice and thin, and then cut out the trumpet. Little wiggle on there. Take off the excess and put to one side. And then take the widest piece of the trumpet, which is this edge here, and then we're going to frill the edge. A little bit of corn flour on the corner of your board so it doesn't stick, and then bring your trumpet to it and frill on the edge with your ball into it with your bulbous cone. A little bit of pressure on the top, just going backwards and forwards till you get a nice frill on your edge, like so. Then we're going to stick these two edges together to make the trumpet shape. So edible glue and a little brush, and we're just going to go down the edge, not too much glue. And then with my veining tool I'm just going to curl it in so it goes back, the two edges meet, like so. And there we have the trumpet. So that we put to one side so it dries, and we can come back and use it later. You can, if you want to, just fill the edges a little bit more with your veining tool, like so, just to give it some extra frill, and it gets rid of the seam where you've joined the two edges together. And you have your trumpet. And we put him on there to dry. Okay, and then we can move it over to the bigger hole. Put him in there, and then some glue in the middle, not too much glue, just enough to stick the other one on the top. And then on that one goes, like so. So over the hole, and you can see it's lifting now when you push down, and then we get the wire again with the stamens on, a little bit of glue in the middle, and you've probably got enough on your brush already just for this piece, and then we're going to put the wire down through the hole until the stamens come to the middle, like so, and then turn over, and the excess that's on the back we then smooth it down the wire to make a stem. Okay, now while that's done, you can put it back in there just to hold its shape, and then the trumpet that you've made nice and hard now, so we're going to glue in the middle, just round the middle, and a little edge on here, and we're going to stick the trumpet in the middle of the skirt. Now if you push it down like so, where your petals are soft, these petals will lift and you end up with your trumpet secured and a lovely daffodil.